Yeah, you already know. And if you don't know, now you know. You should have tuned your ass in to the shows. You should have, subscribed when we asked you guys to subscribe so you can listen to these awesome conversations about to have today. Hey, you see the familiar faces, but there's one face out there we're not familiar with. But, let the people know what's your name.
My name's Jonna, and I am Ashley's best friend.
And nice to meet you, Jonna. And we want glad to have you on the show today. This is the Ashley and the Dawson show, and the Dawson and Ashley show. However you want to put it, it's our show because it's not your show, but it's our show. And I got this girl right here. What it do, KK?
What's good? K from the Rat. What's good with y'all? I'm back.
And you already know the woman of the show, most beautiful thing in this earth, the king and the queen. Goddamn, my hero. Welcome back, Ashley. We missed you, baby.
What up?
That's all she got to say. Ashley is a woman. Ashley is a woman of few words, but the way that you do speak, they're strong words. You know what I'm saying? You will be listening. So, hey, like I said, man, it's glad to see you guys back here. Glad to see that your friend can, join us. And thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for willing to come here and and talk with us. Me and Ashley definitely been pushing this out, like, people, please come on the show, you know what I'm saying? KK is her third show with us, and hopefully we make that as a permanent thing, you know what I'm saying? But Ashley, we really miss you, man. I know that you're going through some.
I missed you guys too. It made me emotional watching the last video that y'all recorded.
Yeah, fuck cancer.
I'm over here like,
fuck cancer,
Mm-hmm.
And we will continually, absolutely. And we always want to see you here, that beautiful smile, But I know it's times that get hard, I know times, chemo hits and you ain't feeling all well, So like, I'm here, to say that, even though you're in those days, you don't have to pick up the bike. You just pick up the phone and call me, so we can talk about it on privacy, you know what I'm saying? So not everything got to be about the show. Even though like it's so many people out there that's, going through the same situation you're going through right now and would love to hear, what you're experiencing and what you're going through and how you feeling about it, So on that note, we're going to talk about our legacy today. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, me as the older one here, I had a lot to think about, in the last years and stuff about my legacy. And I have not yet to get to it because, we all think that we got all this time in the world, right? To, get to certain things, right? And it's like, that's what we got to stop having, that mentality, right? And know that time is of the essence, you know what I'm saying? And the time that we think we should have and want to have, sometimes that time gets cut short, But what would our legacy look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to start with this one question and I'll start with, let's start with KK. Since you're the youngest here, right? So we're going to start with the young, give it to old people, right? So KK, seriously, like, if you can go back in time and tell your 18-year-old self, you know what I'm saying? What would that conversation sound like? What would the conversation be?
That's very hard to really look back on because I'm really only 23. So, I guess. I don't know. Would
you warn yourself? Hey, put some money in Bitcoin because it's about to be, there's much money. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. It's like, it's not a hard question. It's just like, I think you're overthinking it, right? Because what I'm trying to say is like, if you can tell yourself to better yourself, right? Or give yourself a heads up about something in life, what would you say to yourself? You going back in time, you see yourself like, hey, look, self, damn it. Don't make them damn dumbass mistakes that you made. You know what I'm saying? And love your dad with all your heart and make sure that, you call him every day. What would you say to yourself? You know what I'm saying?
I guess I would just tell my younger self that to stop caring so much about what the world thinks of me and to just stop letting so many people, even the people that are as close to me that I think that care about me the same way that I care about them, step all over me and stop me from achieving things that I want to achieve. And I still feel that way, in a way. So, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that we all have that, something like that in common. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard to look in the moment and think like, this person really treated me like shit, right? This person really, really not my friend, you know what I'm saying? Or, and that's not how I would feel or I would treat somebody else, right? We always say this, but like, what doesn't click here, right, is that we're okay with the, toxicity. You know what I'm saying? We settle for, just having someone in our lives, or, saying a person in bed with us at night. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have so many things we give ourselves, false, narrative about things, instead of saying, hey, listen, you're not good for me. And I don't no longer want to be part of this relationship or this friendship, right? And leave. Because you would thank yourself 5 years from now, right? So you may not get the opportunity to go back in time and tell yourself, but you can tell yourself, yes, tomorrow, I'm glad I made that choice. And I'm going to tell in 5 years, I'm going to still make these same choices, right? So I wish we did have that, the time capsule to go back and say to ourselves and grow the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And cut your grass really short because there's so many snakes in that bitch. So Ashley, what would you say to your 18-year-old self? You don't gotta tell nobody your age, I know you're beautiful and stuff like that, but I know people like,
hey, you know what? I feel like I'm fighting a terminal disease, right? And so I feel like I'm proud of my age. I just turned 35 on Monday. And I feel like that's
yay, baby.
That's a big deal.
Happy birthday. They'll try to get they'll try to happy birthday, Ashley. Seriously, man.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
So yeah, no, I'm not ashamed of my age, but I feel like, what would I tell my 18-year-old self? I feel like I could write a book. But I don't know. I think the most obvious thing right now is, take better care of yourself, your body, your health. It's so important. And I think when we're young, we have this idea that we just have all this time ahead of us. You kind of don't take certain things as serious, right? You feel like you have time to figure that out later. And sometimes you don't always have that time, but your health is your wealth. It's your greatest asset. You can't do anything else without it. So absolutely. I feel like, taking a little better care of my body, taking more consideration to the things that I'm putting into my body, just being more aware, advocating for myself a little bit better,
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think that's probably what I would start with.
It'll take me like 10 years to tell myself, what I'm saying, about young self. I'm that serious.
Exactly.
Like, I'm gonna go year by year. If times I miss,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, every year, like, hey, this was gonna happen, dude. And listen, Goofy, don't do that, okay? So
I mean, I say that to say though that like I do want to be clear because like what my doctors tell me, like I have breast cancer and it's not my fault.
Absolutely
1 in 7 women will be diagnosed with it. And I've met women that are vegan and run 10 miles every day. And, then there's women like me who I got a little extra, little extra padding and, I like to eat and, so it's not your fault necessarily, but, I will never know if I had taken better care of myself.
Steve Jobs.
I'll never know that.
Steve Jobs had millions and millions and millions of dollars, and he still died of cancer. You feel me? And that's like it's like I said, like that ain't got no name on it. You feel me?
Right.
It's just a bullet going out of the chamber, and it has nobody's name on it, and whatever it hits, it get hit. You feel me?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I just want to mention that because if somebody's watching this, I'm not blaming you.
No, hell no.
Sometimes that shit happens to good people, and there's not always a reason why. So
exactly, and that's and go ahead. What would you say, John? Would you say you're 18? So I don't know. You look like you're 19 now.
Oh. Well, I'm actually older than Ashley. Just saying. No, not by much though.
Yeah, you said a birthday too, didn't you?
Well, kind of March. I'm a St. Patrick's Day baby.
Okay. Oh my God. Nice.
Yeah. And I'm part Irish, so
Hey, fighting Irish.
So if I were to tell my 18-year-old self something for the future, I would say you're gonna go through some tough shit. and
Absolutely.
you're not going to be ready for it, but you're going to learn from it. And without those experiences that you're going to go through, you won't be who I am today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And to advocate for yourself, not just for others, but for yourself.
And that's all important, you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, that was a great question, you know what I'm saying? Like, and some great answers to it. And it's like, you know, these are just, you know, wishful thinking moments, right? But like, what I would truly tell my young self, when you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew, there's plenty of times I knew I was wrong. I knew, you know, I knew they were wrong, and I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Just like follow your heart, follow your intuition, you know what I'm saying? And like, cause I mean, we can't change the people we were born to, right? We can't change the family that we were born in, right? So it's like those things you can't, you know, you can't tell yourself, hey, kill your little brother, you know what I'm saying? Kill your little sister. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna cause you more problems later on in life, you know what I'm saying? But we can, but we going to jail. But so truly, like, it's like that question is like always, you know, always in like, you know, situation when people ask, they want is curious about, you know, what would they say to themselves? And in general, I think we'll say a lot of shit to ourselves, because no matter how good life is and how bad life is, you still can learn from some shit, right? You still can learn from somebody. You feel me? So like, I just think that going forward, you know what I'm saying, life is just like what I want to do with the life I do have left. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always say to myself before I wake up in the morning, before I might, you know, put my foot on the ground, I say, you know, live today like it's your last day. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, it's 24 hours in a day, and we're not even promised all 24 of those hours. You know what I'm saying? So like, treat today like your last day. Go out there and be happy. Choose happiness over, you know, anything negative. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I try to do. I go into work, I smile every day. And it's so weird that doing that, people are literally mad at me. You know, they are jealous because I'm smiling all the goddamn time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
How dare you be happy?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever choices they made that day, it's their choices. You know what I'm saying? And the older I got, I say this all the time. I can't fix what I can't fix. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Literally, I don't give a fuck. I can't fix that. It's out of my control. I don't give a fuck. Right? So